In the heart of a forgotten town, nestled between the gnarled branches of ancient trees, stood a house. Its timbers were weathered, its windows dark and hollow. Locals spoke of it in hushed tones, whispering tales of unending horror that echoed through its halls. They called it the House of Echoes. Many dared not venture near, but for those who did, they spoke of strange occurrences. Shadows danced behind curtains drawn tight against the world, and eerie whispers lingered in the air like a chilling fog. The bravest souls among them scoffed at such tales, dismissing them as the fanciful imaginings of a superstitious populace. But in their hearts, doubt lingered like a specter. Among those drawn to the mystery was Sarah, a curious soul with a penchant for unraveling secrets. Armed with little more than a flashlight and a notebook, she stepped cautiously through the overgrown path leading to the house. The air grew heavy as she approached, each step echoing like a drumbeat in the silence of the night. Pushing open the creaking door, Sarah entered the House of Echoes. Dust motes danced in the beam of her flashlight, casting eerie shadows upon the walls. The air was thick with the scent of decay, and the floorboards groaned beneath her weight. As she explored the dimly lit rooms, Sarah felt a presence watching her from the shadows. Whispers brushed against her ears like ghostly fingers, sending shivers down her spine. But she pressed on, determined to uncover the truth behind the house's dark reputation. In the depths of the cellar, Sarah discovered a hidden passage obscured by cobwebs and decay. With trembling hands, she brushed aside the clinging strands and descended into the darkness below. The air grew colder with each step, and the walls seemed to close in around her like a suffocating embrace. At the end of the passage, Sarah found herself in a vast chamber filled with relics of a forgotten time. Dust-covered furniture lay scattered about like the remnants of a long-forgotten banquet, and strange symbols adorned the walls in faded paint. But it was the altar at the center of the room that caught her attention, a twisted monument to some unspeakable horror. As Sarah approached, a sudden chill swept through the chamber, and the shadows seemed to coalesce into sinister shapes. Panic clawed at her throat as she realized she was not alone. Eyes gleamed in the darkness, watching her every move with malicious intent. With a trembling hand, Sarah reached for her flashlight, but it flickered and died, leaving her stranded in the darkness. Desperate, she fumbled for her notebook, hoping to find some clue that would lead her to safety. But as she flipped through the pages, she found only madness staring back at her. Images of grotesque figures danced across the paper, their twisted forms mocking her futile attempts to understand. Words of warning leaped from the pages, urging her to flee before it was too late. But Sarah was trapped, ensnared in a web of her own making. With a final desperate cry, Sarah turned to flee. But a cold hand clamped down on her shoulder, pulling her back into the darkness. The chamber echoed with her screams as she vanished into the shadows, swallowed whole by the House of Echoes. And so the legend grew, whispered in hushed tones by those who dared not speak its name. The House of Echoes claimed another victim, adding to the chorus of lost souls that haunted its cursed halls. And as the years passed and the town faded into obscurity, the house remained, a silent sentinel guarding its secrets for eternity.